Welcome back. And now e-commerce is a disruptor for retail as we know it. So much so that Sars is having a sit-down with players affected by the Shein-Temu tax hike today. According to Deloitte, the local e-commerce sector is valued at 71 billion rand and is projected to grow to 225 billion rand by next year. Kewyn Buttle, e-commerce manager at Gecko International, joins us to discuss the boom in this space in greater detail. Thank you so much for your time, Kewyn. Are the big retailers on the back foot when it comes to e-commerce, considering the popularity of these global online retailers, Shein and Temu, but also looking at the opportunities that SMEs have been given, through Takealot and Amazon?
So absolutely, they definitely are on the back foot. And, it baffles me a little bit because, the retail sector has done so well in recent times. I mean, if you just look at the recent results for TFG, they saw 16.1 billion and EBIT saw an increase of 24.9% to 4.2 billion. So, then the Bash platform of TFG is doing well, and they're breaking even. And then Mr. Price is looking at a profit of exceeding 5 billion. So, why are they on the back foot? That's a good question.
You often think that if you've got a website and I guess a product somewhere, then you're good to go. But there actually are quite a few things to consider within the value chain. And I'm wondering if that might be the reason why we are seeing traditional retailers on the back foot. And even, the new infrastructure that's being dedicated to building this ability here in South Africa being taken care of by other players.
So, I mean, you've got to look at it into context of how is the e-commerce market as a whole of the entire economy. So it's estimated to be about 6% at the moment, and it's projected to grow rapidly. So from that perspective, you've also got to look at what is South Africa doing to protect the growth of the e-commerce. If you look at the global perspective, e-commerce in South Africa is well behind where it should be from a consumer perspective. And there's a number of reasons for that, and I'll go into that in a moment. But if you look at, are we doing enough to protect the e-commerce growth and stability of it? And are we making the right decisions to prevent stifling that growth, is the question. But, I mean, if you go back into a little bit of time and you look at Kalahari that entered the market, they introduced themselves. The online platform was new, exciting. Penetration of the market was very small. Then Kalula.com came along, and essentially travel industry was a necessity. And both these two brands introduced credit cards. Now, credit cards were a limited market and it stimulated e-commerce, and that's got to grow. And you'll see e-commerce has faced many challenges over the years, and then essentially it moved into the banks. The banks with the Credit Act coming in, they then pumped credit cards out and got everybody to trust credit cards and purchasing online. That boosted the economy, but again, it didn't reach the right audiences. The telecommunications industry had a massive impact over the couple of 10 to 15 years, from ADSL to fiber. That has created a speed, accessibility. So those are all the right decisions moving the right way. LTE, 3G, 5G, that has created a market penetration that has reached a low to middle income group that's really important. Now, businesses, SMEs, and entrepreneurs need to maximize those things and those opportunities. Now, the technology side of that impacted e-commerce was with the banks as well. Banks made transactions easier. They brought the costs down of transacting, swiping, and mobile banking has created a consumer trust for purchasing online. So e-commerce is on the up and up. Now, again, we were well behind the Asia, China markets in terms of e-commerce, and the UK and US markets. But, those are all things that are contributing factors. But again, price point has always been one of the biggest issues with regards to that. And, the security of online payments. Payment gateways came in, and the payment gateways then decided to communicate that and run competitions with build programs for the banks and Discovery Vitality, which promoted spending.
Kewyn, I just want to interrupt you there because as you're talking about price point, because I know that the local retailers have added the online shopping offerings, but can that significantly shift the needle in terms of them taking market share if they cannot compete on price point with these global online retailers?
So it's a very strange question because retailers are the best geared to compete on that price point. Number one, because they have the capital, they've got the infrastructure, and they should be capitalizing this market as it is. They have the brand trust. They can move into this market far easier. In terms of price point, they can buy in bulk. The big giants can. The SMEs are the ones that need this relief in order to penetrate the market.
That was Kewyn Buttle, e-commerce manager at Gecko International.